Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Gravity Falls, Miraculous Ladybug, Star Wars Rebels, Ruby, and Adventure Time. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Sam Quattro
Hey.
and Delaney Stovall.
Hi.
Today, Delaney, Sam, and I will be discussing the latest episode of Steven Universe, Steven's birthday. We're covering Steven Universe every time it airs here on the Overly Animated Podcast. We're currently in the middle of the fourth Steven bomb, and and you can find out everything about this podcast at overlyanimated.com. Coming off a 3-episode high now, although 2 of them were several months ago, getting into Steven's birthday, and probably it looks like a 2-part mid-season finale the next 2 days, although they're inexplicably Wednesday and Thursday and not Friday. So
Meh.
this, if any episode would be the down one this week, I guess it would be this one, right?
Yeah.
Is that the case though, Delaney? What did you think of Steven's birthday?
I liked it. It was, cute. Connie's always a treasure. It was, I don't know, it's really hard, coming off of yesterday's episode. Hello.
We were very high on yesterday's episode.
Yes. I wouldn't say this episode wasn't bad. It wasn't like groundbreaking in the way some Steven Universe episodes are. It was cute. It tells a lot, I think, about. And well, it does bring up an important issue. I think I don't know if we've discussed before, but definitely something every Steven Universe fan has wondered about being half. Granted, we didn't settle anything, but I'm glad that they brought it up. So maybe they'll bring it up again. Being half human and half gem, and what that means. So it was an interesting, cute. We've kind of had this before, like the last time we had a party. So it's interesting how we explored that in a different way. And yay, Steven has facial hair. How exciting! Also, we know his age, even though that was spoiled like forever ago.
Yeah, thanks, Cartoon Network, on that. Sam, what did you think of Steven's birthday?
It was cute. It wasn't like the best episode ever, but it was like all I said all a lot during it. I was like,
Yeah.
aw, like it was good. Like it was a nice like a character episode, I think. I felt feelings
Yes.
as you normally
you
do.
felt feelings, as one does, yeah.
Not like heavy feelings, but feelings.
Yeah. Should note this the second consecutive episode directed and written by, or not directed, written and story by Lamar and Katie. Yesterday's was really great. Yeah, I think Steven's birthday it's like a departure from the last 3 episodes we've had, where each one we've learned a lot about our show's mythology. It's weird to look back at it as last 3 episodes because 2 of them aired 4 months ago, but this is really the first kind of typical Steven Universe episode we had in a while, which is just very like innocuous and very kind of frustrating in how little it reveals, right? Like if we're gonna ever learn how Steven works, then this is the time, but we don't really learn how he works.
It's like the episode with Sadie, the Sadie song.
Yeah. This is more substantial than Sadie's song.
Yeah,
They're
but
both
it is
they're
like it
both
acts
like
like that.
adorably light, I guess. Yeah.
Like I think they function the same way in their Steven bombs, respectively.
This was that in a Steven bomb?
I think it was.
No,
I don't think it was. Yeah.
No.
I don't think it was.
I don't.
I don't
It's ignoring the Steven bomb structure because it's not made like that. I think this one was good. I think like as later episodes go, this was one of the better ones. Like we needed an episode to talk about Steven's age and the mechanics of him growing because they've been hinting at this kind of for a while. And I'm not super satisfied with how much they reveal, but I guess it's okay considering the past 3 episodes have been some of the most mythology heavy episodes, and then like the next 2 are going to be pretty big too. The other big thing is this is a big Steven and Connie episode. I think this one kind of like is I've always been like Steven and Connie are like cute, but they've never like had overtly romantic stuff going on, and I think this is the closest we get to that. This episode
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
so those are definitely the biggest 2 things to discuss from this. And I guess the highlights are like some of the great Steven and Connie lines that they have related to each other. So let's get into Steven's birthday. So like I said, I feel like our 2 main discussion topics here are Steven's growing and how that relates to being half gem, and then Steven and Connie. So there's like popular fandom theories that kind of color our views of things, and one is like they've never told us Steven's age, And then at some point, Rebecca said that like telling you Steven's age would be a spoiler, so then we kind of knew something was up. And like, okay, here we learned that Steven is 14, and he's been basically the same since he was like 8, right?
Though in the album they skip 13, 12. Like they skip an age. So I don't know if that
Okay.
was because they just happened not to take a picture or because me and my mom both went, now hold up, they can't count.
They can't count.
They
Yeah.
Like
skipped
I
a
didn't know if
lot
that
of
was going to come
ages.
up or if they just didn't take a picture that year or whatever.
Personally, I
like-
thought it was going to be revealed that he was like 20 years old and he was still like little, but close enough.
Yeah, well, there was a limit. Yeah, at first when it was like, okay, Steve, there's the possibility that someone had the theory that Steven doesn't grow, right? So then it could be Steven's 30 or something, but then that doesn't make sense because of Greg, right? So he has to
That's why I
be.
said 20.
Yeah, I think 20 probably still doesn't work, but something
You
around.
don't work.
Thank you.
Wow.
So what do we think of how much we learn of this? What do we think of the concept of Steven being like half gem, therefore he doesn't grow like humans do?
Meh.
I mean, it makes sense that it doesn't simply because gems don't have like they don't have physical forms anyway. So like, would it really matter? I guess it only matters because like he's just not completely human.
This feels like the Twilight thing.
So you're saying that Steven is Renesmee? Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
I'm-
it's
I'm-
basically, yeah.
That's really sad that I know
basically-
that character.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I was literally about to say that, and I was really shocked you knew that name,
That's
Dylan.
really sad. Yeah, I'm a little unsatisfied that we didn't learn more about what's going on here because Steven's composition is like one of the biggest things that doesn't really make any sense on this show. And like it is a lot to. I mean, we kind of took it for granted because I think this episode suffers more from Cartoon Network's incompetency and spoiling things than any other. Because like Steven being 14 would be a big reveal here, but now we know it from.
It was in the promo for the week.
Yeah, which
I would
is
like
not.
to say
It's not an official thing, by the way. But yeah.
No, it wasn't
I would like to say
official.
that I didn't actually get spoiled watching anything. It's because other people knew and they spoiled
Oh yeah,
me.
well, there's the promo for the entire week. Yeah, that's what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
that it was
And then
real than
there's
that.
like the beginnings of the episodes, which aren't supposed to leak, right? Those are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about the 30-second promo.
That I hate that
this week.
promo. They keep playing it, and it's just
Yep.
I'm so tired of it. Yeah. So it turns out that Steven's stretching himself, and he wasn't just able to. So like, okay, so what I thought how I thought this episode was going to go, it's like Steven is how old he perceives himself as. And I think that's what most people thought was going to happen. And it's like, okay, then Steven feels shamed for being, it's like looking younger than his actual age by Connie, so then he's going to mentally grow. But no, it turns out he's just stretching himself like Amethyst in order to like keep up the facade of that.
And then I guess he
So
just
why
like
does
lowered
his
his.
voice drop? Yeah.
Well, I guess he did that on purpose.
Yeah, he just
I
did that
guess
on
so.
purpose. Yeah.
But then how does this flesh out with the other like when we have Steven going through all of his ages? Like how does I don't understand how
What,
now
like-
all these things relate.
And then he becomes a baby at the end. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that
Because
doesn't.
well,
make
no, I mean
sense.
the other what is the name
Oh,
of
and
that
then there's
episode?
Too many
one.
birthdays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like what?
So
Professional
I don't know how that works. Yeah. So there's
It's like-
definitely some amount of he can just age. His aging process can just like happen, right? And
Yeah.
it's kind of forced by whatever, by maybe his mentality, maybe it's something else. But
Somewhere in their series Bible.
in
But
the
it's like honestly, like by years, yeah, he just doesn't. I guess I mean, I don't know. Like I kind of like that it's not like a super obvious like weird thing. We just don't know because he's just 14. Like he just happens to be older than Connie, but like and just doesn't happen to look his age.
I get the problem with looking at the episode from this perspective. Like I led with the mythology element, which is pretty typical of Dylan, but like I think that that's like not what the episode's going for. I think that this episode purposely punts on giving us the explanation about Steven, and the purpose of the episode is the Steven Connie dynamic and how this relates to that. So like I feel like if you're looking at this mythology first, then it's going to be unsatisfying.
Well, yeah.
So let's talk about Steven and Connie.
I would just think that it's interesting. Like at least it's not like we haven't got. This isn't like some big like thing. Really.
Yeah,
It's
we
just-
have-
We just
there-
have no answer.
I think the episode's punting on it. I think that we get this reveal in a future episode now, whatever's happening with it. I don't know. This also may just not be something that gets revealed. It's like, it's maybe like once we have the history of the I don't know. Like we're never going to learn the mechanics of Steven because no one knows what's going
Yeah.
on. So there's no way to know that.
Which
So,
is like which is a helpful safeguard for a writer, but
I guess, yeah. I would hope they have a pretty good outline of what's happening. But
surely.
I mean, you'd expect at some point some Rose reemerges, some type of plot line, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Stephen and Connie. So, how did this episode change your perception of the Stephen and Connie dynamic, if at all?
Mm,
Not at all.
well, for me, like, I don't want to ship them because, like, mainly it's because the fandom is weird, but and people do weird things, but like, I just think they're great. Like, obviously, there's the potential when they're like older to like fall in love or whatever, and obviously, people who are young can have relations. Like, hello, Avatar, but I mean, it's clearly like I don't know, they clearly care more for each other than like you might necessarily think. Like they clearly they have a really like deep relationship and I think that's a good thing. Like it's they have a very powerful friendship. I think this is just more it reveals more on Connie's side because for the most part we've just seen how much Steven cares for Connie and it was nice. Not like we have had episodes where Connie does show that she cares for Steven. So I do think on this case it is nice to see more from like Connie's side and like how she's not phased at all by any of this weird stuff. She just loves Steven for like who he is and like just he's her best friend. Like they are great.
I mean, if you're going to compare it to Avatar, we have Steven at 14 and Connie at 12
Yeah.
here. It's the same thing.
Oh, look
Yeah,
at
it's
that.
basically the
Are
same.
you saying that as Steven and Connie is Stephanie is Kat-Eng? Is that what's happening?
Yep.
I mean, it's that it is what it is. Yes.
What do you think, Seb?
I don't want it to be romantic though. If that
We'll
makes
talk about
sense.
that in a second. Yeah. Did this episode change your perceptions of them, Sam?
Uh, not really. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was cute that that Connie was so worried that Steven's older and like he doesn't age. She's like, oh my god. But I think that sort of changed like how I view their relationship, but not really because it's always been like, well, like it's gonna. They're obviously going for some sort of like little kid love thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with Delaney on this. I try to like not see them romantically. I like actively don't
I
ship
mean,
them, but
yeah, I don't trip them, but like it's obvious that's what they're trying to
I'm
go
going to
for.
Yeah.
recommend an article by site writer Justin Cummings, "Why Stephen and Connie Composed Television's Greatest Love Story," which seems like he's going to talk about them like how you should ship them and stuff, but then it's like how it's like their relationship and it's like romantic now or later or whatever. And I think it does a really good job describing their relationship. And I don't think this episode is like paradigm shifting because it's kind of in line with a lot of the stuff that we've seen before that he talks
Like
about in
it's
that
nothing
article.
different really.
What's so great about them is that they're just so like that there's like no like societal whatever intermediaries in their just like innocent feelings for each other or whatever. And it's not that they need to be romantic or anything. They're just like they just like each other, and
Yeah,
that's how it's
it's like
happening.
Yeah.
oh,
And
that's
it's like the
so
closest thing to
adorable.
like societal anything is like Connie's parents, but Connie's parents are literally just super protective and they just don't want Connie to like die in a gym battle. So like
Yeah, I do like.
That sounded like you said gym battle, and I thought you were talking about Pokemon
It
for a
was,
second.
yeah, in a Pokemon gym battle. Yeah,
oh sorry.
who would be the gym leader? Would it be Steven or Connie? Who's the
Con-
gym?
No,
Who's the
Pearl is the gym leader,
yeah, Pearl would be
Why is
obviously.
Pearl? Okay, never mind. I think that a lot of people are like, oh, well, really, Stephen Connie's parents let her stay over the entire weekend. I think that makes sense given Nightmare Hospital. I think we've had progression there.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely. And
So
literally sent the hospital in the van, so it's fine.
yeah, yeah. The what do I do with this defibrillator?
That was really
That's
funny.
pretty
I
good.
enjoyed that.
Greg's face during that is really good. What do we think of the role? We haven't seen Greg in a while. What do we think of his role in this
I
episode?
love Greg.
Typical Greg. It's
Everyone
just
loves
Greg.
Greg. Yeah.
I wish Greg was my dad.
What do we think of? I'm glad we get Greg here before like we don't have. I mean, I don't remember the last time he was on the show, right? So
Stewball.
yeah.
Steve-O.
I like we learn new stuff. We learned that most of the baby raising came from Greg and not the crystal gems.
Well,
I
yeah.
feel like I thought that was kind of a given, but
I don't think that
like
was a
that it's
given.
no, I mean I feel like what like wow, you got real defensive. I never would like obviously the gyms didn't raise. Also, I've been watching the extended theme a lot and like it's in the extended theme it's clear that the gyms didn't raise Steven like from a baby
Yeah, I
because
don't
the
know
house wasn't built
what
yet.
the extended theme. Yeah, how much that's going for
Well,
like
I just mean
plot
like
stuff. But yeah,
like clearly like they couldn't take care of a baby.
yeah, but
Like
like I also don't think Greg would take care of a baby. So that's a little interesting.
Oh, Greg did take care of baby,
Well,
so
apparently he did. So
yeah.
yeah, that wasn't my perception that he'd be. So
maybe the gems just haven't been exposed to babies.
what do you think
Yeah,
of
like
They
I
have
Garnet trying to get baby Steven not to cry with
Cute.
yeah.
It was a good try.
And she's like, my powers mean nothing to an infant, right? Yeah. Let's go through the episode because some of the best parts of the episode are some of the Stephen and Connie lines. So let's talk about them. Peridot mostly absent from the episode, right? We see her in the beginning, and then
Like half a second.
And then she's not in the rest. I don't think she was in the background or anything.
Oh, she's busy making the drill.
Yeah, taking a break from
off screen.
Peridot will keep us on schedule, and then we have the Peridot balloon. How did they make a Peridot balloon?
Magic.
Great. Yep, magic.
Okay, sure. The show uses that explanation sometimes. So, Connie comes, happy birthday. I like the line read from
Happy
Connie's VI. And then she like aggressively hugs him. Yeah.
It's pretty great.
Yeah. Welcome. May I offer you a refreshment? Oh, Stephen, how genteel.
It's so good.
Clink.
Clink, yeah.
Clink. The entire exchange.
That exchange was incredible.
I wish I had a friend like that.
That you could pretend fancy with, yeah.
Yeah, but I
So
don't
good.
because I am 21 and not 12 and 3/4.
I guess. Greg's line, I was his best friend first. Moot took it to Connie about Steven. Yeah,
That was
really
cute.
good. Steven, you're 14, but I'm only 12 and 3/4. I also really
12
like
and
this line
3/4.
read from Connie's
Quality.
I love it.
Yeah,
12 and 3/4.
platform
Awesome.
12 and 3/4, right? Yeah.
Yep.
You're older than me. I don't believe it. What do we think? What do we think of Connie's surprise at Steven being older than her? And
I
it's a
reacted
little
the
bit.
same
It's a little
way.
bit more persistent than you might initially think, right?
I don't know. Like, I think it's pretty legitimate.
She's a little caught up in it. It lasts a little bit longer than you would think.
Well, I mean, clearly she's more caught up in it because now she's never thought about it before that Steven might not age the way she does.
You think
So,
what's the psychology of Connie here? What is she? Is that all? Is that it?
Well, I mean, I feel like I've had that. I'm like, oh my God, especially now that I'm in college, going and being like, you're younger than me. Like, people have always been older than me, and Connie probably it's something you don't think about, and then it happens and you're shocked. And especially someone Connie's age, she's about to turn 13, but at that moment with him being 14, that is a major age difference for their group, for that section of to be her age, and then for your best friend to be 14, that is a considerable gap. And I think it's completely understandable, and it is the actual shock of him being 14, and then the understanding that I don't understand how Steven ages.
How much of this is on both their parts is them having the perception of each other as a mutually thought of future romantic partner. Like, how much do they see themselves as a significant other, and maybe that plays into Connie's shock at this.
Well, I mean, Steven does go later, and he's like, "What about when Connie's president?
Yeah,
what am I gonna
right.
be, first boy?"
Yeah, which is the best line. Yeah.
Well, obviously that implies they're married, but that's also kind of I mean, we've all watched shows before where people say stuff like that, and it's just because you can never imagine at that age not being with your best friend. You can't imagine a future where you're not right next to them.
So, I mean, yeah, I think this is worth asking. How much of their psychology is best friends versus future romantic partner, right? Ultimately it's the same thing in terms of practical,
Yeah.
right now. But what do you think their mindset is?
I think Steven is more based on the way he's reacted the entire time he's known Connie. He seems to be more romantically inclined than Connie.
Sam,
I definitely think that they think about that.
you think both of them think about that?
Yeah, I mean, they're both blushing around each other all the time.
Yeah.
What else could that mean?
So how much of the blushing?
I do think it's both.
How much
I
of
just
the
think
blushing
more-
is them having no one else their age to be close friends with versus any sort of romantic thing?
Have you ever blushed because of that?
Yeah, but we don't really have that experience of being that age and having literal no one.
Yeah.
Dylan.
Also, Steven literally blushes nonstop all the time anyway.
He also does do that. Yeah.
It's not just with Connie. He blushes when other things happen. So it's not like Avatar when if somebody blushes, they're in love, because that is hammered in fact. But
I don't know. Steven Universe is very based in anime, so
well, no, I'm just saying we've had
that's a
Steven
pretty
blush,
big anime trope.
but
Yeah,
Steven has blushed.
I think we've seen Steven blushing in a variety of
I mean,
situations
duh.
involving crystal gems. Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's not just And I mean, I do think like they do think about it, but I do think Steven thinks about it more than Connie does.
I mean, yeah.
We had the one episode with him, like in his initial perceptions of Connie being romantic, right?
Yeah.
One like
But
the glow bracelet.
don't interrupt his funky flow.
Bubble buddies.
Yeah, but since then we haven't had much of that from Steven's part.
An indirect kiss.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was the name of the episode when he healed her eyes.
yeah. I think all of this is purposefully blended together, platonic romantic,
Yeah.
because a large you know thing that they're going for with Steven and Connie is like don't like it's their kids, right? This isn't like a thing that
Yeah.
they're and of course they're like transitioning, but like it's
Yeah.
it's their kids. They're not. There's no sexual element to it or
Yeah.
anything like that.
And like
I mean,
they're
yeah.
friends. Like first and foremost, they're
Yep.
best friends.
More lines in where were we? The 12 and 3/4 photo album, like we're talking about infant, baby, toddler, adolescent.
They
Well,
get 12.
well, you stagnated there a little bit, buddy. Greg using stagnated, I think, is kind of funny. I don't know.
Yeah, it was like, who says that? It was like Steven yesterday being like, it's whatever he said. No, I can't remember what it
We
was.
had-
I don't know. I have used stagnate in conversation before.
it's kind of a funny word.
But
I don't know. Greg is not super. Is not a stagnated guy. I am.
I can use the word
That's a
stagnate
little
if he wants
insulting.
to. I defend you with your
Well,
word.
Greg says weird
Greg.
things all the time,
does
so it
say
doesn't
weird
really matter.
things.
It's Greg.
Stagnate's a regular word.
The scene of Greg and Connie talking to each other, like explaining how stuff works, right? With the gems. Gems don't really grow up there what they are, but he's half even, not really sure he's gonna age, gonna have to wait and see. And then they have human beings high five.
What even?
But then
I mean, they're-
Steven's like right there, and it's
yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah, they're with a group of aliens,
Yep.
so I guess that makes sense.
yeah, but Steven, he's like in between.
And we see taller Steven for the first time. Your neck, what about it? You have one? I like that.
That was really funny.
Yeah, I like that.
I laughed.
There's one future self-referential joke later in the week that is going to be really great. Wait for that.
Okay.
Half of this week is spoiled now. It's so frustrating. I'm going to talk about this at the end.
I didn't even watch half of it.
I have not been spoiled.
Cartoon Network uploaded a spoiler to their YouTube page earlier today. It's great.
'Cause I'm lazy.
It's great.
It's great. It's so dumb. I had a magic growth spurt. Cool, right? What do you think of Connie's present being a pink shirt for Steven?
Adorable. So about it.
I don't
That's a
know.
nice
It's a
shirt.
shirt though.
Yeah, but you
It's
can,
so lame.
not really. I mean,
No.
I would
Of course, Connie would buy him something really practical.
I wouldn't want
Yeah.
a shirt.
dude, I would appreciate a shirt.
I would like a shirt. God.
I would not.
That's a really nice shirt.
Also, that's a thing. Also, that's a Also, if we want to talk about the romantic thing, like that's a thing too. Like,
Yeah, that is buying your significant other like a clothing item. Yeah. Right.
A shirt
Especially
is a
especially for
good
their age, right? That's not.
also, it's really funny because like how often we see Steven doesn't change his outfit, but he changes his outfit, and it's really funny to introduce this.
Yeah, like what does Steven?
'Cause it's kind of making fun of the fact that he
It
never
is, yeah,
changes.
that's another self-referential thing. Yeah, what does he need that
Which
shirt
is
for? He wears that
ageless.
star shirt the entire time.
He has multiple.
Also, I
sizes.
want to point out I am currently wearing the star shirt right now.
Mine is in my closet.
I do not have the star shirt. I should probably get it.
Yeah, we can meet up and be like, eh.
Yeah, star shirt
Squad.
picture. What's the most people who have taken a picture with a star shirt together at the same time?
I don't know. I was sort of Steven at a con.
You were
Awesome.
Steven.
Yeah, I wasn't really because I was me.
You wore the shirt. That makes.
I wore
Wear
the
shirt,
shirt.
Steven.
They are playing badminton here, which I thought was interesting. I don't know.
Dude,
what
I
they're doing.
love badminton.
Badminton is great. I do agree. Same.
I don't know why they decided that they're going to be playing badminton.
No, it's such a
It's the
typical thing for Pearl to
best.
do. Like it's such a beach city thing. Let's play badminton.
You think Pearl
Like,
would be
it's-
fascinated by badminton?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Badminton's the best.
Haven't they played badminton before and Amethyst was like,
No, I think that was volleyball.
okay. Because I thought Amethyst was like the ball at one point. I think that's happened before. I don't
And
know.
so we have the various things to designate Stephen being taller. That we have to see the arm shrinking, him growing it again. Stephen and Connie dancing. which is
Aw.
two dancing episodes in a row.
I was kind of hoping they'd fuse, but that obviously didn't happen.
Yeah, a lot of people are expecting the reemergence of Stephanie in this episode. Did not
Like,
happen.
please.
You should sneak me into
Stephanie.
a PG-13 movie sometime. Just kidding. I would never ask you to break the law.
Break the law. Does that even what?
Of note that is not breaking the law. That is not a government
Yeah, I was just saying, like,
thing.
that's
It's not a
definitely
law.
not breaking
That's not
the
a
law. It's not a
but
law.
that's a great line from Connie.
No, it's such a quality line.
Such
It's
a
so good.
typical Connie line. It's funny, good, and then Connie putting her head on Steven's chest. That was like more
Aw.
of early romantic things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg and Amethyst see Steven changing and stuff, right? You can't.
And they were being super weird about the pinata. Like, wow.
Yeah, what
It's being
was
really weird in
that?
this corner over here. With
I
the
like that we're
pinata.
continuing the Greg and Amethyst best friends thing, but yeah.
Yes,
I'm
it's
glad.
pretty good.
I'm glad that they're friends again.
I can't stay a kid forever. When Connie grows up and becomes president, what's that going to make me? First boy? Yeah, that's the best line of
That
the
was
episode.
really good.
Yeah.
That reminded me of the episode of Hey Arnold when like Helga's dreaming. Well, Helga and Arnold are both dreaming about them being together, and Helga dreams about her being the president and Arnold being the first man. Yeah,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
This
I
is
like.
they continue to make a conscious effort to have Steven's lines subvert expected male gender roles, and this is a continuation of that. I think
really great.
I think if anything, you could make an argument that Stevens had a very high frequency of gender role subversion lines recently. I could see someone like very noticing that and like that disrupting viewing experience, but like they're all incredible. So,
Yeah,
I mean, the
like-
best one is is giant robots shouldn't fight, and then this one here is also incredible. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's out of character. Like
it's
Steve
very
is
in
literally
character.
just
That's a
precious.
major thing about his character. I very much appreciate all of these lines.
Like he's perfect.
As me, yeah, they're great. Make Steven and Connie laying down and making up star constellation names, right?
Aw.
That's interesting.
Cute.
Interesting game.
Dog copter.
Connie, Dogcopter. Yeah, we had a
Candace
recent post by the Keep Beat Shitty Weird Tumblr blog talking subtly about Steven Universe spoilers, but in universe talking about the Dogcopter movie, relating it to our Star Wars spoilers. It's like actually the best thing. Yeah. I would highly recommend
It is the
checking
best
out that post. Yeah, I think it's
Please do.
keepbeatcityweird.tumblr.com. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Excellent post. When Connie, I'm glad I get to grow up with you, said Connie to Steven. And then we get baby Steven. I don't know, what do we think of seeing baby Steven turning into baby Steven?
Aw.
It was cute. It didn't really
But
serve
it's-
a purpose.
yeah,
but
it sucks,
was
but,
cute.
Baby Steven or baby Cora?
Well, baby Core is a toddler.
Toddler.
Yeah,
Cora.
so it's not really comparable.
Yeah, we talked about Garnet and Pearl doesn't want to deal with baby Steven. I thought that was interesting because Pearl is like so much the mom, but then she's like, I can't handle it.
I'm not surprised.
You're not surprised at that?
No.
Interesting.
Again, like I told you, I wasn't surprised that Greg did the baby stuff. So
Yeah,
like
that
I
was-
know it's why I
Greg did the
wasn't
baby
surprised.
stuff. Connie says she just wants to be there for Steven. I want to hang out with you no matter what. Amethyst was the baby seat. The car
I
seat.
did notice, and like it was great.
I didn't notice that, yeah, until Lisa did it.
Was not paying attention. That was
Steven,
really funny.
Connie's like, Steven's microscopic. He reverted back to his zygote.
I
Yeah.
love Connie.
Connie's
sorry.
the best.
Connie is the best. Sorry this was a disaster. I just want to look older for you. It's really
Aw.
okay if I don't age like a human. I like you just the way you are. Yeah, so resolution. It was a little
Yep.
bit fast, but yeah.
Meh.
It was cute. It was fine.
It's very a little bit of a stereotypical plotline, but like in this really weird way with Steven's aging and stuff. And then he has a facial hair at the end and shows it off to everyone, which I can verify is what happens.
Really? Is that actually what happens?
Yeah, that's definitely what happens.
Is it like when we get like our first
Yeah.
menstrual cycles and like your mom like calls everybody like, oh my
Yeah,
god,
it's-
Sammy's a woman.
Yeah, right.
That
I
literally
mean, do you live in the
happens.
20s? Is that, I feel like that's the
No,
No,
that's what happened, Dylan.
that still
That's
happens.
literally what happens.
You said that like in like an old timey.
I said like, oh my god.
Yeah.
No, that's what happened.
Okay, so overall, like, are we happy with this one? Even if like in the context, it's a little bit like slower than the surrounding ones. I'm fairly
Yeah.
happy with this episode. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a good episode.
Yeah.
It's a nice.
It's not like the best, but it's
Yeah.
fine. I liked it.
I think of note, I think I like yesterday's episode even more than than I said on the podcast last time. I think it's very, very good. We didn't note on yesterday's podcast that Blue Diamond says gem quartz. She says gems of my court. So there's, it's at the very least, gems look like the diamonds that they're in their court with. We don't know how far that expands, if everyone's in a diamond court, or if it's just a select group.
Oh,
Also, overnight, Blue Diamond's Blue Pearl has become Left
yeah,
Shark.
that too.
Has become what?
Left Shark. That's basically what's happened.
No, thank you. Yeah. Everyone likes Blue Diamond's Pearl. Yeah.
There was a little cameo from Garnet's VA Estelle when they were going through records for the party. Greg picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Picked it up. Picked up her album.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Garnet shoves Greg and was like, "No, Greg, stop."
Yeah. What I was referencing before, today Cartoon Network was uploading all of the Steven Universe songs to their YouTube, and they just put up the song from tomorrow's episode. Literally public on their YouTube. Let's see if it's still there. Let's refresh. Yep, still there. So good job. It's a really good song, by the way.
Yay.
So I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow probably part 1 of the 2-part finale, mid-season finale, written storyboard by Jeff and what's the other half of Joe and Jeff. Yeah. So
wow,
they do all the good best episodes. So
wow, our Jeff did that.
Joe and Jeff, not our Jeff. So let's
our Joe and our
we'll
Jeff
be covering
did
it tomorrow. Last thoughts on Steven's birthday.
Happy birthday.
It was cute.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Steven.
When is that? What date is it actually, though?
I don't know what date it is.
I don't know either.
Yeah. This is important information we need to know.
Time passes. I mean, they celebrated New Year's however many episodes ago.
Did they?
Yeah, maximum capacity. They celebrated New Year's.
So long ago.
Well,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm Dylan Hysen, not Sam Quattro. Delaney Stovall.
Great.
You can find out all about us at overlyanimated.com. You can support the podcast at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thanks to our current patrons, Shayna, Mitch, Cordell, Beatrice, Nate, Andy, Jamie, and Rachel, aka Hey Now, if you're Mitch Cordell University, Beatrice James, Buzz like your mailman. And Rachel, if you're listening, we have 2 nicknames for you to pick from, and let us know: Kylo Rach or Rachel Rose, which are both terrible, but that's what we got.
Dylan, shut up.
They're both pretty bad.
You come up with a nickname.
Yeah, I don't have
right?
any, right? So I can't speak. Kylo Rach, Rachel Rose.
Or Rachel Quartz.
Star Wars and...
Yeah, Rachel Quartz is a good one, too.
Why though?
Why
anything, Dylan? Why?
Okay. I struggled to find the logic in that one, but...
Why are we even doing this?
Nicknames, there's no good reason. I've figured that out.
Why are we doing nicknames? Why are we even on a podcast?
Why do we exist? Why are we here?
So let us know what you thought of Steven's birthday. We'll be back tomorrow to cover... what's tomorrow's episode called? No, not that. It's It Could Have Been Great. I'm not sure if it could have been great or it could have been great. I've seen it both ways. This is very important that we sort this out.
The contraction is so.
It could have or could have?
It's also important because if I say the episode name and then I sound like a hick and y'all make fun of me, so.
Can you read that episode name for us?
Nope, not right now.
Well, tomorrow we'll get that.
Yep,
pleasure.
tomorrow.
So,
Torment me.
Looking forward to a great song tomorrow and some stuff happening, and it's gonna be great. Cool. Right. Thanks for listening, guys. Last comments.
Happy birthday.
Yep. We should sing happy birthday.
No, thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.